Well, hello everybody. It's BugEater64 here, and we're getting ready to do a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 flight with Air Hauler 2, and it's a very short flight. We're only going 197 miles, 199 miles, going from Miami up to KLEE, and we're going to be carrying about 54,000 pounds of cargo. So that's why we're using the Airbus A320. So this is going to be my first flight with it in the Air Hauler 2, and we're going to have to see how it goes. Yeah, so let's get in the cockpit and let's go do this flight and keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best. You know me and commercial jets, or maybe you don't, but I'm a piston head, so what can I tell you? Anyway, let's get in the cockpit and see what happens. Okay, so here we are inside the NEO A320, and we're going to go ahead and let my co-pilot get us started up and get ready to go. So go get him, buddy. Getting power in the aircraft and get our engine started and get things going. Okay, we've got the APU up and running, power to the aircraft, so we're going to get the engine started. Co-pilot, take over.
Miami Airport Information Sierra 17000. Wind 086 at 25. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 700 feet. Few clouds at 4,500 feet. Few clouds at 12,400 feet. Temperature 24. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.35. Visual runway 8 left, ILS runway 8 right, and ILS runway 9 are in use. Landing and departing runway 8 left, runway 8 right, and runway 9er. DSR aircraft, say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller, on initial contact, you have Sierra.
Okay, we've got our ATIS. Let's go ahead and contact
Miami Airport Information Sierra
ground.
17000.
Get our permissions
Miami
to taxi.
Ground, BugEater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray request taxi for straight out departure with Sierra.
BugEater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray taxi to and hold short of runway 9er via taxiway 2 November Whiskey Yankee 1 Yankee cross runway 30 Yankee Sierra. Contact tower on 118.3 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 9er via taxiway 2 November Whiskey Yankee 1 Yankee cross runway 30 Yankee Sierra BugEater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray.
And that's just crazy to me. I mean, I got to go to all the way the opposite end of the airport, if I remember correctly. I'm going to take a look at the map here. In a short time and make sure I'm right. They could have just sent me down to the end of this runway, which would have been runway 8, which they're using for ILS anyway, so they're going to send me all the way to the opposite corner of the airport to use runway 9. Such a nuisance. But We do as we're supposed to. Okay, all our flight controls are working properly. Okay, so get our lights on. Taxi lights on. Okay. Ready to start our taxi. Move up here and make our left turn at this opening. Alright, let's do some house cleaning here. Flight plan, okay. This FMC is different than what I'm used to. Okay, so my plan is in. Let's go ahead and get taxiing, because we got a long way to taxi. We'll get moving out here on the taxiway. I'm not going to make you ride through the whole thing at this slow speed, so we'll just have to bounce it up and get on our way. If you know what I mean. Weather's not too bad today, so. And we're going to be at a low altitude. We're going 199 miles, so I'm not going to take this thing up to 10,000 feet for basically a 17-minute flight. Takes me longer to get the aircraft set up and for the landing than it will be for the actual flight. Could have just let me go down here to runway 8 right. And let me take off. Okay, so 8 right is there, and I think, if I remember correctly, all the way, I'll make this a little bigger so we can see it better. So that's runway 8. And you got runway 30 there. The end here is runway 9. And that's the one we got to go to. So you can see we got a long way to go. So we've got a long taxi. And as a great songwriter once said, we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. This is also the first flight I've done in the sim since the update number 3, which I got this morning. And I think I've updated everything properly. All my key bindings and control bindings seem to be working, but we shall see. Hopefully everything's working fine. So, okay, we've got activation of air hauler 2, got a green, all is good. So with that, and it's telling us to go ahead. Very good. With that, let's get down to the end of the runway. Stop this messing about. end of runway 9. We're going to pull up here to the hold short line, finish our prep, get ready for takeoff. Okay, now we can go through our final procedures, get everything set up, flaps and takeoff configuration, double check the autopilot settings. Get that all done, we call the tower and request clearance for takeoff.
Miami Tower Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-Ray at runway 9 ready for takeoff straight out departure.
Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-Ray cleared for takeoff runway 9 straight out departure approved.
Cleared for takeoff runway 9 Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-Ray.
Okay, so we've got our clearance. We are ready to go. Let's get prepped. Move onto the runway and get going. Flight director on. Okay, taxi light off, landing lights on. Okay, lights are all good. Yeah, this is one thing that just drives me crazy. I've got all the NPCs turned off, and yet I've got a TBM parked directly in front of me. It'd be fine if he was going to take off, but there's... Probably sit here all day and he wouldn't move. up in the replay, the outside replay. They're crazy. Let's go. Rotate. Here's coming up. Good indication there, holler. It is official. Okay, so
Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
very good.
Miami Tower Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray, frequency change. Miami approach Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray is type Airbus A320 entry miles northeast of Miami 2,500 feet. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace. Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray, Miami approach. Squawk 2055.
Very good. Okay, so let's get the autopilot set up.
Squawk 2055 Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray. Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray radar contact 4 miles north of Miami, 3,200 feet. Cleared through the Bravo airspace. Maintain on navigation.
All right.
Cleared through the Bravo airspace, Bug Eater 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray.
Let's go. All right, welcome back, and we are very close. The flight has gone very well, been uneventful, and we're going to get ready to make our approach in here to KLEE.
Banking.
Yeah. You keep telling me that. So far, I haven't had an issue with it. There's Leesburg. Now, I just have to find a runway. What did I do? I had the speed brakes. That's what I did. I'm gonna have to check the bindings on that because that shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. We're gonna have to go around. Completely out of position for runways. I had turned the auto throttle off, and it's still listed as on. So, yep, definitely going to have to check some of my key bindings on this. Let's see if we can get her lined up this time. I
Going
had
to
hit.
121.725 Bug 64 Alpha Alpha Delta X-ray.
Oh my god. Anyway, I hit my gear down on it, but I didn't double check it. Pilot error, my bad. Okay, well, wasn't that interesting? I'm not sure what happened because I was on the approach. I wasn't going too fast. I hit my binding for the landing gear and I thought I heard it coming down, and things kind of happened in a hurry. And as you can see, we did an absolutely beautiful belly landing. But the amazing thing is that once I was able to shut the fuel off, kill the engines, I set the parking brake, of course, and I was able to get credit for the flight in Air Hauler 2. It told me it was an okay landing. So I guess it was okay because I didn't break the airplane. And Microsoft Flight Simulator didn't classify it as a crash. Another amazing thing, because it certainly should have been. So anyway, we made all the money we were supposed to make, about $157,000 for the flight, 199-mile flight, almost, almost $200,000. It's going to take more than that. If in the real world, I would have been a disaster. But this is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and yeah, I don't need to say anything else. Anyway, had fun bringing it to you. Um, you know, the FS Playground recording system, um, I'm getting used to it, and it's working well. So no complaints at this time, and hope you enjoyed it. I always enjoy bringing you these stuff, good, bad, or indifferent, and this wasn't one of my better flights. Or better landings. The flight was fine, but that landing, horrible. So anyway, until next time, this is Bug Eater 64. I sure hope you had a good time. Hope you're all safe and well. And until then, please remember, as always, safe flying.